What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review, and today I'm doing just a massive review. I reviewed recently this little Dr. Wu Optimus Prime, which was a really fun figure, and I liked a lot, so now I've got a whole bunch of them to review, and instead of spacing this out over a whole bunch of reviews, I'm just going to do them all in one review. Now, these are on loan to me from a buddy of mine, and I don't know specifically which one goes with which bot. I know that they come in pairs, and I don't know what the pairs are. I know these guys came together, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna review them one by one by one. So, we'll start off with Powerglide. Why? Because I like Powerglide. So, Powerglide looks just on point. Yep. Powerglide looks like he just fell over. And, I mean, he doesn't come with any accessories or anything, but he looks really good. I think... So... Like, some of these guys work really well as mini-bots, I think. Whoops. This guy's got ball-jointed legs. There he is next to the New Age Bumblebee. So maybe he wouldn't work that great. He'd need to be a lot taller. But, yeah, he doesn't have any head articulation. But his arms go all the way around on a ball joint, come out for the full tree pose. Elbow bend over 90 degrees. That's nice. No waist joint, but his leg does go that far forward and that far back and out for, this tab gets in the way of that hinge. Aside from that, he could get the full Thor if he wanted to. To rotate his leg, he'll do it. But yeah, he's got little engines on his legs. Knee bends for 90 degrees. Ankle tilt. Ankle goes forward, goes back. So even though I've been having the most trouble getting this guy to stand up, he's actually the easiest to actually get standing because he's got a large range on his ankles. But to get him transformed up, all you gotta do is, with his legs, we're going to close this part over. Bring his foot in. Again, do the same on this side. Close this part over, bring this foot in, rotate his knees. Tab them together. You've got this little tab here and then like a little dovetail looking tab up here. So let's plug this in like so. Extend out his tail fins. This is going to come down and clamp onto these little pegs here. Boom. And then we want to take his arm, bend it all the way at the elbow, and then there's this little tab on the the inside of his elbow, and that's going to go into a slot. We're just going to do like that. Untab this from the side there, rotate it. And there you have your little Powerglide in his little Powerglide mode. It is super cute. I like it. I like it a lot. No action features or anything like that in this mode, but it just, it looks fairly on point. Alright, so we're going to stick that guy aside and we're going to pick up a Decepticon, because why not? So here we've got little Starcream. And he looks really good. Mostly molded in color. So black plastic for his head, red for most of this. That's a white paint app, but you've got this light gray plastic for most of it. Blue for the arms and the toes and the tail fins back here. Blue paint for that nose cone. I think it looks nice. The head, does the head have any? The head is on a swivel. You can swivel it. It's difficult. It might be. Yeah, I don't know if a good way to get around that, but it will go back and forth a little bit until it smacks up against his shoulder vents. Arms are on ball joints. They'll go out for the full tree pose, and they will go all the way around if you fold the wing out of the way. The wing does fold back and forth on this hinge. No waist joint, but, you know, at this scale, I'm not complaining. Leg goes forward that much, goes backwards that much, goes out for almost the full Thor. Less than 90 degrees of bend. And no real articulation on the toes. This is a transformation joint. But you can, you know, bend it a little farther forward than it needs to and fold it halfway up if you want to. And that might give you a little bit of expression in the foot. But he's got little null rays that attach on. And they just clip on to these relief cuts for the ball joint. So it's not super secure, but we'll take it. But to get him transformed up, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the wings back. We're going to pull on the shoulders, which will unclamp this chest region here. Actually, before I get into that, I'm going to put this down a bit. And so we're going to open up this chestial region and bring that way out, basically till the wingtips touch. And then you're going to take this whole section here and rotate it around. Oh, I lost the null ray. Rotate it around all the way. And then we're going to take this nose section here and we're going to basically feed it through, very much like the G1 Starscream. Feed it all the way through, straighten out that nose, clip this back down, straighten out the legs, fold the toes in. Then we're going to bend this wing and the chest section down. The chest section is going to clip into the knee. And then this arm is going to tab into the wing. And if I hadn't lost this null ray, I would have kept them both on. And it would have said achievement unlocked. Put his tail fins how they're supposed to go. And here he is in his jet mode. And it looks like nice. It's got that kind of chibi almost kind of look to it. It's really reminiscent of the core class Starscream in a lot of ways. But it's almost even got like better engineering than the core class Starscream because it doesn't use like a faux chest. It actually, that's the actual cockpit of it. But you've got some gunmetal paint apps for this exhaust here, the pinstriping on the wings, the details on the tail, blue on the nose cone. The hands don't go anywhere, but aside from that, like, it's really good, especially at the scale. I think it's really good. No landing gear or anything like that, but I'm not complaining about it. Not even a little bit. All right, so let's pull out. I've got another buddy who, this is his favorite guy. Not 100% sure yet, but he's one that he likes. That he's always liked, so I dig it. I'll certainly recommend this one to him when I'm done reviewing these. But yeah, Sea Spray. And he also looks really good. Maybe not quite as chunky as his G1 self was. I know that he was kind of a fat kid, but you know, I can sympathize. But pretty well done. A little bit bummed that they didn't give him a waist joint. Like, I recognize that there is a bit that comes up here, but I don't know. They could have done a little bit differently, I think. But in terms of articulation, he's got little spinny, well, that's more of a vehicle mode thing. His head does not turn, unfortunately. He's got, due to his transformation, he's got like a little bit of a butterfly joint. That's cool. Arm goes around on this ball joint here, comes out for the full tree pose. Elbow is also on a ball joint, so it bends for 90 degrees and gives it a swivel. His legs are on ball joints. They'll go forward that much, they'll go backwards that much. A little bit of rotation at that ball joint. He has an actual knee joint for 90 degrees of bend. Plus he's got his ankle, which is on a ball joint, so it will go back and forth, front and back. And every ball joint can be a swivel. All that jazz. To get him transformed up, we are just going to take and rotate his arms at the elbow 90 degrees so that all of these, you know, relief cuts line up. And then we're going to open up these pontoon sections on the bottom of his feet and bend his feet up a little bit. But before we clip this all together, we're going to take this blue section here, bring it all the way out. And these little tabs on the legs are going to plug into that blue section there. Oops, we're going to plug his feet in together. Tab his arm into that pontoon. Bring that up. That will also basically cover his face. And there he is. He's a little tiny hovercraft. It looks really good, actually. On point for sure. Perhaps it's slightly gappy, but, you know, again, I'm not going to complain too much for a figure that's, you know, the size of your thumb, basically. Rotating propellers there so he can zip around. But yeah, a little bit of blue paint apps for the windshield. He's got a piece of gray plastic back here. I'm not sure why. Like, they could have just made that white plastic. It had to have cost extra. Oh, I bet he paired up. No. I was going to say, I bet he paired up with Blaster, but there's no way, because he was packaged with a Decepticon. Could have been Skywarp for all I know. Who knows? Somebody knows. But yeah, we'll take a look at Skywarp next. Light gray. I think it's even lighter. I don't know. Maybe it's about the same as Starscream's light gray. It just looks really light on him due to him being basically molded all in black. And his articulation is going to be the same. You can see his face really well. Let's zoom in on that. Hey, he's got a face. With a little bit of red paint app on it. Silver on the chesticles. But let's get him transformed up real quick. Now, this transformation is basically going to be the same as the last one, so we'll zip through it a little bit. See if I can do this one without losing his null rays. That'll be an achievement for me. Open up the chest sections. Both chest sections, come on. Open it up till the wings touch. And then give it a spin. Give this one a spin. straighten out his nose cone, clip this down into place. Clip his legs together, fold his toes flat, clip the chest sections into the knees, tab the arms into the wings, and then just straighten things out. And I lost it after I had it into that mode. The black jet mode really looks good. I think it's real swanky looking. There he is from the underside, a little bit of purple plastic scattered in. Now, someone correct me if I'm wrong, which I very much may be wrong. But I thought that the striping on his wing was supposed to be purple. This is definitely blue. There's blue on the tail fin as well. I thought it was supposed to be purple to match the rest of him that's purple. One detail that I just noticed looking at this figure, that's true for the Starcream as well, is they've got the striping on both the front and the back. So they look good from the front and the back. That's swanky. It's a little detail that didn't need to be put in. Alright, let's grab Blaster. Let's not grab Blaster yet. Well, yeah. I already had him in my hand. It's not fair to the people who are looking forward to it. Blaster. He doesn't come with any tape. His chest doesn't open up. There's nothing. There's no features in this mode. But he does look really good. His proportions are nice and chunky. I should probably compare him to... Well, I don't have the other Blaster transformed up into his robot mode, so I'm not going to do a comparison there. But proportional-wise, he looks really good. In fact, I'm going to compare him with Soundwave here, because they're usually the ones at each other's throats. Soundwave is a little shorter, Blaster's a little taller, as it should be, I believe. And they're both really, really clean figures. My friend that I borrowed this from he says that he was really surprised that Blaster doesn't share any engineering or sculpt, any molded parts with Soundwave. And I was like, well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. But he thought that was a really swanky idea. Big ol' hole in his head. That's mostly for to keep the plastic from deforming as it cools. But yeah, less ball joints on this one. There are, of course, some, but some actual pinned hinge joints. So his head is on a ball joint. It will look all the way around. Looks up a lot. Looks down none. A little bit of side to side. Shoulder goes all the way around. Comes out for the full tree pose. Elbow is a ball joint, which gives you 90 degrees of bend and a rotation. He has a waist joint. That's nice. Legs are on a ball joint, goes forward all the way that much. It goes back all the way. And a bend for 90 degrees. His sculpt, even though this outer bit is all more panely than the inner bit, like, it still looks really good all the way around. Toe just has a joint for transformation, nothing else. But to get this guy transformed up, you want to take his head, rotate it around, and fold it down. The arms, I believe, fold around like this. We're going to take these and fold these handles out. And then this whole thing's going to come up and let's try it like this. Oh, yeah. That will rotate. And then that will plug into the thigh and plug into the shoulder and plug into the forearm, like so. So you're going to take his leg, move it back, move it out, open this up, rotate at the knee, and then there's a tab here that's going to plug into the thigh, a tab here that's going to plug into the shoulder, and a tab here that's going to plug into the forearm. And that all just happens simultaneously. And then you've got a little joint here to plug these handles into each other. Make sure the toes are folded in. And there is Blaster in his boombox mode. And from the back, a little bit sloppy, but this is how it will be displayed. This is almost the right size to go with like a Masterpiece figure, actually. I don't have a Masterpiece figure handy. But anyhow, missing a null ray there, guy. Thundercracker. Thundercracker looks, again, sculpt is the same. It looks really good. Everything is on point. I was a little bit surprised that they didn't do different faces for these guys. They all have the same expression on their face. But molded in a nice kind of medium blue color, not like exactly, you know, baby blue or sky blue, but, you know, a respectable blue. And I'm just going to take his null rays off when I transform him. Of course, posability is the same as all these other ones. So, crack open his chest. Fold this open. Rotate it at the wings. Oh, hey, got to get the nose cone out of the way first. I'm like, what's blocking me? Fold this all the way through. Clip that into place. Plug the legs in together, fold the feet. Clip the chest sections into the knees. Plug the arms in, and then we're going to plug the null rays back into themselves. Extend out the tail fins. You know, these thruster areas have little holes in them. If you had the 3D printing chutzpah, which I don't have a resin 3D printer. I've got a little filament printer, but if I had a resin 3D printer, I could reliably print out the stuff that I would need. You could make little jet exhaust blast effects for that. I think that'd be really fun. Just for chuckles and grins, let's show all three Seekers next to each other. Center them properly, of course. Good looking trio, if I do say so myself. These are, by the way, like $35 for a set, for a pair of figures. Something like that. Less than 40. So here is Beachcomber, and Beachcomber is tiny, like very tiny. Let's have him with his mini-bot buddy, like huge compared to Beachcomber. And Beachcomber has got shoulder goes all the way around, comes out for the full tree pose, no bicep rotation. This is a pinned hinge here at the leg, at the elbow. Leg goes that far forward, that far back. Goes out for the full Thor. Knee bends on a pin as much as you want. He's got a pretty decent face sculpt, silver face, silver paint up for his eyes, a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow for these headlights too. A little bit of silver that goes on the back there. And yeah, getting him transformed up is really simple. You fold his legs. and now he's a vehicle. And that's it. It's almost comical. Well, I mean, it's definitely comical. I was being like, yeah, you want to see how fast I can transform this figure? Ta-da, it's done. I need to get my review out for the New Age Beachcomber. It's a little bit more complex than this. But yeah, so you can clearly see his knees through there, but I mean, that's kind of it's almost like a Beachcomber staple at this point. A little bit of paint apps. He's even got like molded seats in there past his roll cage. Makes for a really wide, flat dune buggy, but you know, it's not bad looking. Not bad at all. I dig it. And then last but not least, we've got Soundwave. Soundwave is the only one, I guess. It's funny, all the Decepticons come with accessories. This guy's got a weapon here. But none of the Autobots have any accessories, well, except for the little Optimus Prime that I have. By the way, the scale for these figures, like, they're really tiny scale. They don't scale with, you know, anything else. But they scale amongst themselves pretty well. So I'm legit a little bit impressed by that. But Soundwave has got really good, like, silver and red paint apps on his head. Some blue and yellow on his chest. Some silver details on his waist section. Silver on the shin. Gunmetal for the feet. This little red stripe. Pinstriped all the way around. I think that's real snazzy. Blue paint app for the fist. A little bit of red that goes all the way around his weapon. Like, paint apps that go all the way around are not exactly easy to do. And so I highly respect that they did it for, you know, 3 different components. I like it. I like it a lot. But his head is on a little ball joint. Really, it goes up, nothing forward, nothing down. You can kind of say that he's got some side to side. Rotates just fine. Arm will go all the way around. It is on a ball joint, so you can get like a little bit of a butterfly in there. Comes out for more than the full tree pose. 90 degrees bend on the elbow. No rotation here. It's all solid. He does have a waist swivel, which is nice. He does have little skirting armors that move a little bit. So his leg will go that far forward, all the way back. Comes out for the full Thor. His knee will bend 90 degrees backwards, and it will bend forward too if you want to. But, you know, that's just for transformation, really. Unless you could have some, like, chicken walker Soundwave. Y'all ever seen that that movie from the 90s? I think it was called Arrival. Not the new one from the 2020s, but like it was from the 90s, and it had Charlie Sheen in it. Yeah, and they had aliens that had weird, like, digitigrade legs, and they were funky looking. Trying to terraform our planet. Anyhow, to get him transformed up, you're going to rotate his head 180 degrees, fold it down. You're going to disconnect his weapon, come around to the back, and then plug it in so that the blast part is facing down. His arms are going to compress up like so. You've got a slot that's in here, and that slot has got little divots in it on both ends. So when you pull his arm out, you're going to want to pull it out like so, and it kind of moves freely in that slot. Pull it out until it clicks. Then it's all the way out, and then it'll stay locked there. And then when you push it back in, it's the same thing. It'll kind of freely move in there, but you want to push it until it clicks. Bring this in, plug them in on the back there. Then you're going to take his leg and fold it up and plug it in like so. And then his foot is going to rotate and come down, and his foot's going to plug into the back of his leg here, like so. So bring his leg up, rotate it in, plug that, rotate his foot. And there is Soundwave in his boombox mode. And there he is with Blaster. So you can see how they pair up. Again, the scale between these is really, really good. I like these figures a lot. I think I really need to get the Soundwave. But I also think that I really need to get the Blaster to go with it. Come on, phone, shut up. Sorry, I figured I'd be done before my alarm went off, but now I ran over just a little bit. Like, I really feel like I need to get these two. And then there's a Megatron coming out that I want to get too, so I'll have to pick up a few of these for my own collection. But anyhow, that's it. That's all I've got. Thanks everybody. I know this is basically like I almost want to say 8 reviews in one, but really it's more like 6, with one of them being repeated 3 times. So that's 8, right? The math checks out. But anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Bye.